Welcome back to Every Disney Movie Ever. My name is Jess and I'm watching Every Disney Movie Ever. Today I'm going to be talking about Inside Out. Inside Out is a 2015 theatrical release about 5 emotions working together in Riley's head to keep her happy and balanced, except for when happiness isn't what she needs to be feeling. It's directed by Pete Docter and Ronnie Carmen, supervising animation done by Shawn, Krause, Victor Navone, and Oliver Kurth, editing by Kevin Nolting, music by Michael Giacchino, and it's written by Pete Docter, MacLachlan, and Josh Cooley. The film stars Amy Poehler as joy, Phyllis Smith as sadness, Bill Hader as fear, Lewis Black as anger, Mindy Kaling as disgust, Kaitlyn Diaz as Riley, Richard Kind as Bing Bong, Diane Lane as mom, and Kyle MacLachlan as dad. In October of 2009, the project was greenlit. Pete Docter noticed his daughter had becoming more quiet and reserved and really wondered what was going on internally. He asked Carmen to be his co-director. They accepted, and they both used their own experiences as well as conferring with psychologists and psychiatrists and professionals. They leaned on Paul Ekman and Dr. Keltner the most, probably. They also consulted with neuroscientists for Riley's brain landscape, DNA, neural flashes, etc. The scientists and crew came up with 27 emotions. They were irritation, envy, greed, gloom, despair, depression, love, schadenfreude, ennui, shame, embarrassment, hope, anger, fear, sadness, disgust, contempt, surprise, and happiness. That's not 27, but that's a huge chunk of them. Doctor took the main: anger, fear, disgust, sadness, and joy, which he changed from happiness. Lasseter and Steve Jobs. Well, Lasseter had little to no input in this one because he was so busy restructuring Walt Disney Animation. Steve Jobs had passed away and no longer had any say. So this was the first big project to not really have a say from Lasseter or Steve Jobs, which is crazy. It was a very big project for Pixar. It took them 5.5 years in development. In 2010, Docter compiled a team to discuss rules, reels, settings, and gave him and his team 12 months to come up with a plot line and characters. And so they attempted that. Carmen brought up the whole ice hockey thing because of his own experience growing up, how things like that, like a sport or a club or some specific interest really affected your upbringing, really had a big part in your upbringing. Half the story team made half the story team women to have a diverse group to refer to for input. Riley was the film's setting, not main character. And they did joy as a girl because Riley's a girl, but then did whatever else for the others, which is interesting because all of the emotions in the mother's head are women, all of the emotions in the dad's head are men, but Riley has boy and girl emotions, which is very interesting. Let's not get into the, emotions don't have a gender, but you're understanding, they're presenting. They struggled to incorporate a lot of stuff to show Riley's personality because they wanted to show that off, her interests, etc. And then finally in October of 2011, Diane Disney Miller told Pete Docter to reprioritize the script and really narrow in. And so that's how Pete Docter kind of came up with the personality islands, to really kind of make that succinct but also cute and, adorable. In 2012, it was finally put into production. In 2013, it was cast, and the voices were really cast on how they sounded as the emotion, right? So, some people were thought of from the get-go. I believe Amy Poehler and Lewis Black were, thought of from the jump. Amy Poehler sounds so happy. Lewis Black is, the definition of an angry voice. There really was no other option, if we think about it. And then Mindy Kaling, I know I also would think of Mindy Kaling if it came to, disgust. Not because Mindy Kaling's disgusting, but because, her role as Kelly in The Office, she's just so, thinks everything's so nasty or whatever. I feel like it was really appropriate for her to be discussed. And then I do know Phyllis Smith, I think they said it was someone heard her speaking and was I think we found our sadness. We need to reach out to this lady. Which is really funny because her voice does definitely fit sadness for sure. And then obviously Bill Hader crushes it as fear. And a lot of people like in Disney, but also out of Disney, and critics thought the film was perfectly cast. There were several screenings just before animation began to balance the film's tone. They really wanted to get Joy's actions and nature as she manipulates Riley right, so it didn't feel or come across badly, because, you know, she is her Joy. And then originally Joy and Fear were supposed to be the ones going on the whole adventure, but they switched it to Sadness, and the film didn't originally have its emotional ending. But they landed upon that once they switched it. After test screenings of certain scenes, the Brain Trust, which is at Pixar, like the head people who really decide on films, finally locked in the picture and said it was good to go. It was finished 3 years later, designed for the inside and outside. Inside was very contrasty, very bright colors, you know, very, oh no, I said contrasty, bright, saturated is the word I was looking for. And the out of her head was the opposite. It was a little bit more dull, a little bit less contrasty, not as colorful, which definitely plays. It's not like, I guess I would say it's more realistic, the outside. And then animation took a year and a half, 48 animators, 350 artists. Every 3 seconds of film took 3 weeks to create and 33 hours to render. RenderMan team developed special geometrical optics for Joy specifically. There's so much technical information about like the animation and the rigging and all of that that you could read if you'd like, but some of it is over my head. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I know I went to film school, but I didn't go to animation directly, right? I did not study animation directly. So just absolutely stunning technical information for you if you'd like to do your own further research. Marketing was a mess. It was all over the place. They did a bunch, but lots of people considered it screwed. They kept Bing Bong a secret, which I think was a really great move, because then it really hits you and has that impact in the movie. You find Bing Bong and you're like, oh my god, cute. And then what happens in Bing Bong, you're like, oh my god, no, I fell in love with the character and lost him all in the same, like, amount of time. The film had a $175 million budget and made $858.8 million in the box office. That's really good. It's got a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes consensus. Inventive, gorgeously animated, and powerful movie. Inside Out is another outstanding addition to the Pixar library of modern animated classics. It was nominated for Best Original Screenplay and Best Animated Feature. It won Best Animated Feature. Denise Daniels sued Disney and Pixar, saying the film stole from her pitch of a TV show called The Moodsters. 2 more suits after that. Carla J. Masterson claimed they infringed on her books What's on the Other Side of the Rainbow and The Secret Golden Mirror. And finally, Damon Porshane, who made a film called Inside Out. No known outcome except for Daniels, which was rejected. The film became culturally significant. I know a lot of therapists use the emotions to help children express themselves. Core memories has become just a regular phrase people say. I know regularly people will like film a moment from afar of like a dad and his child doing something, or like it's creating a core memory. Like that has just become verbiage that the world uses when significant moments are happening to them that they know they're going to remember forever. I think that's really special, and what a beautiful thing to come from a film like that shifts and interweaves itself into culture. The film is followed by Riley's First Date and then Inside Out 2, and now a new show on Disney Plus called Dream Productions. It's like a short little show. Just gotta say, nice job. Very well executed. We love to see it. Yeah. Stunning, clever, so innovative, so creative. Like, this is one of those movies that you're like, this is so creative. How amazing. The concepts, the ideas, absolutely. And then the animation itself is stunning. It's very beautiful. And the abstract scene where they're getting broken, abstract thought, they're getting broken down into the different levels of animation. That was so creative. That's the best word I can use for this movie is creativity. It's like such a creative concept and executed so well. You know what we love to see? A movie that's an hour and a half. This movie is an hour and 34 minutes or around there, and it's no fat on it. Point A to point B, everything in the film is necessary. It's great. I think this is Michael Giacchino at his best. I don't think he's done better than this. I think this is, which that's not to say he's done anything bad since this. All of his scores tend to be excellent, but I really think this is one of those moments that score he made defined and incorporated itself into the movie so seamlessly, and it's just, it helps tell the story, it enhances the story. I mean, how I just said Core Memories has interwoven itself into culture. People use this song, like, use the main song when they're filming those moments I was talking about. Like, when they film it and they're like, look at this core memory being made, the song in the background is do 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 do, because it's perfect for what it is. I don't know if I could say enough good things about this. I love this movie. It's one of my all-time favorites, for sure. My baby munchkins, who aren't baby munchkins anymore, and would probably kill me for calling them that, but my first cousins once removed, is what I believe they're technically. My cousin Aaron's children, Paul and Emery, who you've seen multiple times. So you watch Vlogmas, it's a Paul and Emery takeover. They used to call this movie Memories. Can we watch Memories? Can we watch Memories? And that's just, like, that's so special. You know, like, what a special film to help kids identify their emotions and help them understand, you know, it's important to feel them. The lesson of this movie being it's important to feel your emotions, and different emotions help you make connections. Like, it's so good. It's just excellent. The lesson that Joy learns, that all of, like, that memory she watches in the memory dump where she was sad on the tree, and sadness is what made all of her friends and family come together to comfort her and lead to such a happy, momentous, joyous moment where she's being, like, cheered on by her friends, supported. Beautiful. A beautiful moment. And, like, all of the emotions not being able to take over control because Riley needs to feel her sadness and, like, get it out, or it's going to consume her and she can't feel anything. And, like, it's just such a perfect representation, and it's so moving, and it's great. It's such a thoroughly well set up, well executed movie. Like, I don't know how else to say it. Bing Bong rips your heart out, you know? Like, I cry multiple times in this movie. I got very emotional for Bing Bong this time around, but my first cry is just before that, in the memory dump, when she realizes sadness brought all those people together. They came because of sadness, you know, and, like, she hugs the memories and cry. Oh my god, it gets me every time. And then right after that, to lose Bing Bong and have Take Her to the Moon for Me. Like, oh my god. Brutal. And then when they get back to headquarters and Joy tells Sadness, like, it's you, Riley needs you. It's so beautiful. And then she hands her all the memories and they turn blue because Riley is feeling sad because she misses all of that. And that's okay. It doesn't mean those memories won't be happy again. It's just, like, she moved to a new area. She's missing her home. She's missing her friends. It's all so natural to feel. And the fact that, like, Joy learns that lesson and Sadness gets to do, you know, what she is meant to do. It's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful lesson to teach and put on a big screen film. Like, it is just so stunning. As you can see, I cry in the movie when she gives, like, when she says Sadness, Riley needs you. Game over for me. And then Sadness being able, like, being the one able to take out the light bulb only, and her, like, driving the console, and, like, Riley just, like, feeling her emotions. And then when Sadness, like, felt the, like, wait, it's time for Joy to come in, and they both touch the button, and it creates a core memory that is, like, interwoven sadness and happiness. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. Yeah, it's really good. It's also really funny. Like, it's got so many genuinely funny moments. I think that's why this movie's so good. It's so well-rounded. great performances all around. I think everyone does a really great job. I think everybody's their character to a T. Like, it's just perfectly... Everyone is perfectly themselves. You know what I mean? I mean, to get Diane Lane and Kyle MacLachlan for mom and dad, and they're, like, not these huge characters, is a crazy pull. I think Kaitlyn Diaz does a fantastic job as Riley. I believe she returns for Inside Out, too, and wait till we get there. I haven't seen that since theaters, because that movie also destroyed me. I don't know if I can survive. So yeah, this movie's just so good. This movie also hit me on Inauguration Day, just for those wondering when I'm watching this. So, alright, my favorite moment is definitely Sadness, Riley Needs You, and then when she says, I miss home. Like, when Riley says, I miss home. I miss my friends, and I know you don't want me to be, like... Oh, and then her, like, parents, like, breaking and being like, I miss Minnesota too. Like, it's, like, such a perfect moment. Okay. I also really love Triple Dent Gum. I love the Triple Dent Gum song for a lot of reasons. One, because I think it's hilarious that, like, you know, it's one of those things. And then two, the boy singing the Triple Dent Gum song with the girl. The boy singing it is a man named Nick Patera. And for those who don't know, Nick Patera had a YouTube channel a long time ago. He still has it, where he got very famous for doing Disney, like a Disney acapella thing, where it was like multiple of him in a Brady Bunch type style, singing Disney acapella. And then like it was his dream to work at Pixar. He works at Pixar as an animator, and in Inside Out, he was able to like sing the Triple Dent Gum song, which was a huge deal. I was so excited for him. And now he's like, I think it came back in the sequel, so, like, he was there for that, and then he just worked on Dream Productions. Like, I'm just really proud of him, so I love the Triple Dent Gum song for that, and also because it's funny. Least favorite part is probably when Joy forces Sadness into the circle. I'll never forget, in the movie theater, seeing this with my brother and my mom, and when Joy, like, pushed Sadness's toe into the circle and said, keep all the sadness in the circle, I looked at my brother and I went, that's not a good idea. And my brother giggled at me because it was like, I was already seeing, like, how that was going to be a problem because you're meant to feel your emotions. And, so that's probably my least favorite moment just because, like, I'm like, uh-oh. But also I don't know if I have, like, an actual least favorite moment in this movie. I guess, like, Bing Bong dying sucks, but, like, it's also important. So I don't know. And then watch again. Absolutely. I watch this all the time. I love this movie. Recommend. If you've never seen this, highly recommend. I love this movie. Specific moments, I already talked about the movie theater. I feel like I don't have a lot of specifics just because I love the whole thing entirely. I think the cleverness of abstract thought, what are we thinking about today, loneliness, Imagination Land and Dream Productions, so clever. The reality filter, I think all the like mind workers looking like cells is really great. Subconscious keeping away like all the fears was really funny. The clown, terrifying, absolutely. The train of thought, facts and opinions, like there's so many pieces of this that are so clever. Personality Islands, that's great. Like, oh, sorry. It's just really good. Anyway, I'm gonna finish it because apparently there's a saw happening outside. So that's everything I have for Inside Out. My final rating is 10. Core memories out of 10. Our total movie count is... Our cry count is... Parent Dad told us to the same. If you want to keep up with what movie I'm watching when, follow me on all socials. You'll find out what movie I'm watching when. I put up videos every Monday and Friday and sometimes Wednesday. Join Patreon. I have a tier starting at just $1 every video a week early. Tiers of daily trivia, monthly postcards, bonus content, the whole shebang. Go check it out. Buy merch. Merch is great. Merch is grand. This one doesn't look like this anymore. This is old. Until next time, come like and subscribe, but I'm not in charge of real life. You are, so do you. And don't be... No. Feel your emotions. Get through them. Reach out to your loved ones to feel them with. Because it's great. Sorry about the saw happening. Brutal. Brutal.